Welcome to part 2 of our Stylized 3D candle tutorial. In the previous video, we built this entire cozy scene using basically just the skin modifier and single lines. But static objects are boring. Today I'm going to show you how to breathe life into it. We are going to procedurally animate the fire, use shape keys to melt the wax, and set up a cinematic camera, all without frying your PC. Let's make some magic. Let's start with the flame. Select the flame object and add a Displace modifier. Click New to create a texture. Go to the Texture Properties tab. This texture will distort our mesh to simulate dancing fire. Set the type to Clouds, and under Color, change it from grayscale to color. Adjust the size, and maybe change the noise basis to Original Perlin. Now back in the Displace modifier, set the direction to RGB to XYZ. Lower the strength to something gentle, like 0.36. Look at that, it already looks like a flame, and the base is literally just 5 vertices. But fire doesn't move at the base. While in edit mode, let's go to the Object Data tab and add a new vertex group. Call it Fire. We need to assign different weights to our 5 vertices. The bottom should be 0, so it stays still, and the top should be 1, so it flickers. It's the exact same trick I used for the flag in my windmill tutorial. Select the Fire group in your Displace modifier. See? The top distorts, but the bottom is anchored. Play around with the vertex weights until you like it. Right now, the flame is frozen. Let's make it dance. We will force the texture to move through our mesh. Press Shift+A and add an empty object, plane axes. In your Flame's Displace modifier, change the coordinates to Object and use the eyedropper to select our new empty. Now, if you move the empty, the fire moves with it. To animate this infinitely, select the empty, go to the Transform panel, and in the Z location field, type #frame times 0.03. Hit play. The empty flies up, pulling the texture with it, creating a super realistic procedural fire animation with 0 keyframes. The fire is burning, now let's melt the wax. Because our mesh is driven by the skin modifier, we only need to animate the skeleton underneath it, and we'll do that using shape keys. Select the top wax strips in object mode. In the Object Data tab, find Shape Keys. Click the plus button to create the basis key, and click it again to create key 1. Set the value of key 1 to 1.0. Now with key 1 selected, go into edit mode. Pull the vertices of a wax strip up, making the drip shorter. This is our starting position. Back in object mode, if you slide the value from 0 to 1, the wax melts back and forth. You can now set keyframes on your timeline to animate it melting. To make it look like cooling wax, open the graph editor. Adjust the animation curve so the drip slows down as it reaches the bottom. I actually created a separate shape key for each individual drip. It takes a bit more time, but it lets me control exactly when and how fast each drop melts as the camera spins around it. Do the same for the wax puddles on the table. Speaking of the camera, let's set it up. Add a camera, Shift+A. To quickly snap it to your current view, go to View, Align View, Align Active Camera to View. In the View panel, check the Camera to View box. Now you can pilot your camera just by navigating the viewport. Super handy trick. Let's give the camera a point of focus. Add an empty sphere. Select the camera, go to the Constraints tab, add a Track To constraint, and pick our empty as the target. Now the camera will always look directly at this empty. Let's add some life to the scene with a subtle handheld camera shake. Open the graph editor, select the Z location, and add a noise modifier. Increase the scale to around 100 so it's not jumping like crazy. Do the same for the X and Y coordinates. Now our camera gently breathes, creating a warm, cozy atmosphere. To make the camera slowly orbit the candle, add a circle curve. Scale it up. Select the camera, go to Constraints, add a Follow Path constraint, and move it above the Track To constraint. Pick the circle as the target. If your camera flies away, just zero out its X, Y, and Z location coordinates to snap it back to the curve. Now just animate the offset value in the constraint to make it fly around. Use linear interpolation for a smooth, endless loop. Let's quickly review the materials. The base is just a dark, slightly reflective gray. For the wax, the most important parameter is subsurface scattering. I cranked it all the way up. It looks amazing in EEVEE, and honestly, I avoid using cycles out of principle anyway. Play around with the coat and sheen settings until it looks like wet wax. The wick uses a color ramp to change color at the tip. And the flame is an experimental mix of a principled BSDF and an emission shader. To make the fire truly glow, we need the compositor. Enable Use Nodes, add a glare node, and tweak it to your liking. But here is the best part. To see this effect directly in your 3D viewport, click the Viewport Shading dropdown, go to Compositor, and select Always. In your render properties, enable Raytracing. Under Color Management, set it to AgX and High Contrast. I love my colors punchy. Make the world background completely dark and watch the magic happen. And we are done. If you enjoyed this tutorial and want to support the channel so I can buy a new PC, the full project file is available on my Gumroad. Link is in the description. Thank you guys so much, and stay creative.